Next up, we have, I guess it was a scam all along by Penguin Zero, aka Charlie, aka the fucking goat. Literally the goat. Oh, I can't hear him.
Time ago. If you think I look tired, well, you better get your eyes checked, Buster. That's a certified WebMD diagnosable moment right there that something has gone awry with your peepers. Could a sleepy man do this?
No sleepy
Checkmate.
man could ever
Point
do
is,
that.
in my endless battle against insomnia,
I love Charlie
I happen to
saying.
have stumbled across something interesting again this evening, and it pertains to last night's video about the $20 million reality TV show, Twitch streamer, fan, production, extravaganza, mansion, titties, beer, rock and roll, whatever else it was pitching itself as, called the $1 Million Fan Show. Well,
I like them.
I speculated that it was a big scam, and a lot of Twitch streamers had been publicly put on the website. Some had even made announcements about their endorsement of the $1 Million Fan Show, and nothing about it seemed legitimate. I'm not just going to regurgitate everything from last night's video. You can check that out if you want a deeper dive on everything that was wrong with it. But last night on stream, like 45 minutes after I posted the video, they took their website down. Then I was checking their other ancillary shit, and all of that is removed. It seems like they are scrubbing any existence of the $1 Million Fan Show from the internet. So like even the Reddit post that the livestream fail mods posted is taken down. I don't know if that was by order of the $1 Million Fan Illuminati, or if the mods that had signed an agreement with them had a come to Jesus moment that they may have been misled, so they decided to take it down. But apparently they also removed like their Discord and their socials, which is a huge blow, by the way, because the $1 Million Fan Show had like 5 Instagram followers.
No, I wanted to read that. $1 Million Fan, a show promoted by Livestream Fail along with several creators from Mythic Talent, has seemingly deleted their Discord, closed their Twitter account, and had the LSF mod delete the promotion. This after one of the creators involved, Extra Emily, claimed she had no idea what she was promoting and did zero research into it. Many had asked her whether this is a scam. The rapid deletion of everything feels like there may have been something nefarious going on here. What? Girly, what? Didn't even look into it before promoting it?
Which is a huge blow, by the way, because the $1 Million...
But I mean, I guess if it came from, like... Is she a part of Mythic? I don't know if she's a part of Mythic Talent. I was like, if Mythic was, like, telling everything, then that's on them.
Fan Show had, like, 5 Instagram followers, so... Really playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin.
Gee, thank you for the
now
follow.
That 5 Instagram followers have been cast into oblivion, banished to the Shadow Realm. I feel like that's pretty strong evidence for my game theory that it was all a big load of hullabaloo, a bunch of hooey. I don't think a legitimate company that's putting together a $20 million grand prize reality show that is also a television program that is also employing some of the highest level production staff imaginable for a once-in-a-lifetime unforgettable experience for streamer fans. Also, their About Us section had all the telltale signs of just being AI generated, where literally every section ended with triplets where it was, you know, it's not this, it's this. Performance, power, mentality.
That reminds me of, like, the not so recent, but kind of recent drama that happened with, like, this virtual convention that was supposed to be happening, and, like, it was gonna have a bunch of VTubers attending. What was it called? Like, VirtualCon or some shit? And then, like, I guess the creators looked into it, and everything was, like, AI generated, and it was just... They're, like, using AI for a lot of shit.
Mentality. Tits.
And everyone dropped.
Mentality. Like, it's just like, it was very clearly AI generated.
Like, why do you need to use AI?
Fucking first thing you see on their website is an AI generated image of a mansion. The whole thing just reeked of scam.
Ew,
and now everything has been deleted, presumably by them. I don't think, you know, some governing body came in to, you know, wipe them out. I think this is them trying to cover their own ass so that way there isn't some kind of legal action taken against them. Because from what I've read, there were actually some members of some streamer communities that put money into the $1 million fan show. They bought emote packages. I read a report on someone that claims to have spent a couple $100 doing so. So I imagine there was a handful of people that did legitimately lose money on this. Now, of course, you have to take those claims with a grain of salt because there's no real evidence to back it up, especially now that everything is deleted. There's nothing to prove that. But I'm inclined to believe those statements from them because these streamers are, you know, to a lot of people, a trustworthy source. And if they're endorsing something and they say that there's a chance that they can win $20 million or whatever the fuck through like signing up for it, they will do so. And when you go to the website and do their free sign up, they're very heavily pushing you to do the monetized sign up for unlimited entries by giving them money. So I bet a lot of them were baited into doing that.
Yeah,
now, as I said in the
probably.
last video, I am shocked that Mythic Talent actually even floated this to their creators, like Extra Emily.
That's what I'm saying! That's literally what I was saying right now. I was like, I'm kind of like surprised that it went through Mythic and Mythic like had them promote it and everything. I can't believe people promoted this without looking into it. Well, it makes sense with like these creators that are part of like management companies like this, because you know the companies and their managers are the ones looking at all the deals and like helping them, and they don't have all the time in the world. So I'm like shocked that it went through them.
In her statement, mentioned Mythic Talent by name, that they had pitched it to her. I was surprised it made it to a streamer because anyone that even had their eyes open and neurons firing for a second would go to that website and know full well immediately, right from the jump, that this is not real, that this is fraudulent. So I did a little digging, and I was able to get in contact with an agent, not at Mythic, but at another agency that did have this exact same thing come across their desk for their streamer clients as something to pitch to them. And according to that agent, I don't know how deep into the nitty-gritty I'm allowed to get, what they sent them, the pitch deck, was extraordinarily different from what ended up making it to that website. From what I understand, and from what I have been told, they were under the impression that this was an Amazon-backed production, at least initially. And at the time of receiving this offer, they didn't have a website or anything public outside of that pitch deck, I guess they were hawking to agencies. And it is indeed a paid promotion. The streamers that are listed there were...
I wonder what the pitch deck looks like.
...paid for this partnership, and there was no additional information available beyond the concept of the show and the promise that Amazon was behind a historic $20 million streamer fan buttfuck hullabaloo reality TV show. Now, one of the streamers also sent me the exact offer that was presented to them, which gives further confirmation to all of this. It comes from Mythic. This is the direct offer from Mythic that this streamer received. I'm not going to show the actual thing, so that way no one gets into legal hot water here. I don't want to, step on too many Legos, but I will give you the general overview for what the pitch was, the offer. Interestingly enough, the offer came back in June of 2025 from Mythic. And the opening line was about how it's an Amazon series. This is an Amazon series looking to break records, a historic $20 million prize purse reality show. It doesn't even name the show, by the way. I'm guessing back in June of 2025, they didn't even have the name of the show or anything concrete. There was no website, no mention of like LSF or brand partners or anything like that. It was just a single sentence that said, Amazon reality TV show set to air on Amazon Prime, featuring the soon-to-be-broken Guinness World Record book for biggest prize pool in history, $20 million, winning group splits money in half, $10 million to you, and $10 million to the fan. That is the entire explanation for what this deal was. Interestingly enough, like I said, June of 2025. The deliverables were a reality TV show appearance, 1 to 7 days, depending on how far you make it, and a single social post. The initial filming date was November 3rd to November 10th, but guessing, some wires got crossed there, fucking nipple clamps came down, maybe government shutdown, put that on the back burner, so that had to put the kibosh on that and shelve it till, I guess, 2026. Anyway, though, they were offering $3,000 for the streamer involvement here, plus 20% of net ticket sales from your ticket, which the streamer expressed some confusion over because they didn't believe Mythic knew that there was like this paid entry option, but in the offer it says they were getting 20% of net ticket sales. When you go, well, knowing now, you know, hindsight's 2020, but like going to the website that existed, when you would sign up through a streamer portal, you were paying for those entries if you wanted to extend beyond just the free submission. So I'm thinking that the idea from this offer was that when someone, a fan of the streamer, did a paid entry through their portal, they would get a portion of that. So like I feel like Mythic would have had to have known that there was some kind of like paid component to the fans.
Yeah, I was
but
like, what the hell?
Who knows? There's
That's
so
like
little
the
information here in the actual
fucking basics of like managing. I don't know how it went through, honestly. I don't know who looked at that and thought, yeah, let's go through with it.
offer that Mythic took to the streamers. I am still extremely surprised it even made it to a single streamer as something to consider. I don't know why there wouldn't be more digging to confirm if this is actually even an Amazon show, because after the offer they then go into like a general explanation for it, and it is so bare bones. It sounds like something that a person would cook up in 5 minutes while taking a shit after consuming, like, you know, their morning oats or something. There's not a whole lot of thought into this. Competition details: 1 creator, 1 fan group eliminated per day, $20 million cash prize, 1 creator, 2 fans. They will be gaming, IRL, and cognitive challenges, think Survivor, but for creators. And then it just lays out like the most simple, boring shit ever for the competition. And then the Apocalypse Challenge on day 3, during which fans will compete head-to-head with each other, resulting in a mass elimination. Narrow the group down so each creator is ultimately paired with one of their original fans for the last 4 days. It's like, it's if you went to like a fucking Redditor and asked them to really quickly come up with a streamer game show or something. Now, as for the initial start date of November,
It's so bad, dude.
the streamer was just told that
That was
it got
so embarrassing
pushed
that it
back
got
to
through.
March. I don't think there was any like real explanation for what went wrong. You know, maybe bad weather, perhaps government shutdown. You know, all kinds of possibilities for why it got moved. But they weren't really, you know, kept up to date, kept abreast on everything going on here with this huge, giant Amazon show. I am even more surprised that any agency
Amazon.
would have seen this and just shipped it as is, just said, fuck it, do it live. We'll send it out to our streamers to see if they'll
That's
accept the
literally what I'm
$3,000
saying.
offer
How
with
did it get through?
20% ticket sales split or whatever. Because, like, I feel like when you are getting this as, you know, pitched as an Amazon production, you would probably want to confirm if this is actually coming from Amazon. Because if you're going to work at this agency managing these kind of...
I'm like, there's no way. Okay, so like me in the past, I've gotten like contacted by quote unquote brands. I'm trying to think of like which is one of the most recent ones that was like a scam email. I think it was like fucking Corsair or some shit. And I was, just like looking at me like, oh my god, yeah, this person says they're from like Amazon. I believe you. Let me work with you. Give me the links. Let me press them. I don't know. Maybe common sense isn't too common anymore. I think with all the brain rot is consuming our world, common sense isn't that common anymore.
But you're working under the impression that no one's going to tell lies on the internet. What's stopping just any old Joe Schmo Dorito dusted fingers from sending you a cold call email saying like, hey, this is me, Amazon, pitching you a $50 quadrillion reality television show. I'll offer like $3,000 with some rev split to your streamers. Do you mind taking this to them? I'd love if they start shouting out goochsweat.org soon. It's a very legitimate reality TV show. We're Amazon, by the way. And you not press that any further, because that's what it feels like.
What a
Looking at
website
the
name.
offer,
I think I'm gonna have to take that shit.
There is no actual information about like Amazon being behind this. And since this was back in June of 2025, I can understand the absence of a website a little bit more back there, because if this is like an Amazon show, they're probably not going to make the website first and foremost because they don't want to like spoil it or anything. Like I can kind of understand that.
Yeah,
so streamers being left in the dark on, you know, like a website that they can access.
Most websites can be like like locked behind a password wall though. I'm pretty sure. So, like even nowadays, it's like kind of fucking sus if you don't have one.
Like this website, it didn't exist
All I'm
according to
saying is you could buy the domain.
the streamer. It just recently popped up, which according to
Maybe.
that does appear to be the case. Even though the domain had been registered for a while, it was updated in like late December. So that's probably when it actually went live, which is when anyone could go on there and see how fraudulent it was with just a single fucking glance. So I do now understand that there were streamers that literally couldn't look up this show because the offer doesn't even have the name of the show and the website didn't exist. What I'm still confused on is like why anyone would still accept that deal. And then I start to understand a bit more that they just have trust in the agency not to be presenting them with a scam.
I forgot the name.
They had trust that the Mythic talent, for example, like in Extra Emily's case, was bringing them something that was legitimate. So they're seeing like, oh, it's an Amazon show that wants to work with me and they're making this offer. Okay, this seems like a big deal. I'll sign up to that and, you know, do the social post or whatever. Also, if you try and look...
Yeah, I 100% agree with that part. That's literally the job of the management company. Literally a big thing that they do is get you paid partnerships and stuff like that. So obviously the creators are going to have a lot of trust in that company. And they're not going to like do a full deep dive when they don't have time. So it's like, you know, it's a big, well-established company, management company. All these creators are obviously going to put their trust into it. So I don't even blame her, honestly, for like promoting it. Obviously, you could be like a little more cautious, but totally understandable that she's putting your trust into the company.
Look up milliondollarfan.show now. The most recent
like
update to the site was today because the update
Mythic
was just nuking it, taking it down. But prior to that, it was updated in late December, which is when I imagine this went live. So now it seems like the streamers literally didn't even have access to look up the information themselves on that website, which again, doesn't take a super sleuth, you know, fucking pinky up internet, you know, narwhal baconing at midnight master to see that that is a fucking disaster of a website that is clearly in a shady spot, most likely looking to scam. The streamers didn't know that site was there because the deal was all the way back in June. Though I will say, looking at the offer, this should have been something that I think streamers should have been a little weary of because it feels like it is very odd.
But then again, I'm still on the boat of people make mistakes. Not everyone is a fucking robot. So, you know, mistakes happen as long as they're showing accountability and actually putting like the effort and work into growing and not letting that mistake happen again. Then
just
I don't
looking
think
at
we
it,
should like cancel
but I think
them over
that does
that.
fall a bit more on the agency than it does the streamer itself,
Yep, it
because
does,
there is a
100%.
level of trust from streamers with the person that is like managing their brand deals, that what they are getting is not just fucking toilet paper that's trying to wipe their ass with their fans. And in this case, I am still just shocked that it even made it to the streamers in the first place. This should have been probably caught far earlier. I imagine they could have confirmed well beyond this, like almost a year later, that this wasn't Amazon behind it. If they had like, you know, maybe set up like calls or something or looked for any level of proof of this being Amazon, like even just questioning, where is this money coming from? Who else are we working with? What is the actual production timeline and all of that looking like? I feel like there was definitely a way like Mythic Talent could have caught this and then never even had to get to this point where there were real victims where, based on what I've read, there were people that put in like hundreds of dollars, which again, I know you have to take it with a grain of salt because there's no like evidence to support those claims that people lost a ton of money since now everything is scrubbed, but I'm inclined to believe them because the audience has a level of trust in the streamer that what they are pitching is not just a scam that's going to just rob their fucking piggy banks. So I do think that there were real victims here, and I think it was just so easily avoidable.
I agree with that.
This shit is just fucking wild that it even happened. R.I.P. $1 Million Show. Definitely feels like it was a scam from the get-go, considering they have just vanished, poofed out of existence, and erased every trace that they were ever even here to begin with. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yeah.
Crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy. I didn't even know that happened. I've been like so off of like Twitter. I don't even know.